Well, it was a great win by our football program. These rivalry games are always special, and each year that we've been part of it, we found out how important the boot is and how many of our alums and people in the state and our former players. So it's for a whole lot of people. It was a great win. We're going to move forward from here. Some questions.
I mean, there were so many turning points, but when Chase got that pick six, was that to you maybe the biggest turning point, or if so, if not, what was?
Well, I think obviously that had a huge impact anytime you score on defense. But as you know, the previous week we did it twice. I think that with the combination of us just being able to establish a running game, in our defense really coming up with some big plays, and also special teams. I thought Ethan Woods tonight was outstanding.
Coach, you switching up, giving Sean Wick a few carries throughout the game. How did that change the pace of the offense for you? How did it change any of the scheme?
Well, we feel like we've got two really talented tailbacks, and when one guy's had a long run, we've got another guy in there. It was great to have both of those guys.
You mentioned keeping blocks longer early in the week.
Pardon me?
You mentioned keeping your blocks longer along the offensive line earlier in the week when we talked on Monday. Pretty pleased with how that turned out.
Yeah, we really are. There was a pinpointed effort in practice. This is still a young offensive line, and so for them to do what they did along with the tight ends and the fullbacks, that was impressive.
Craig, talk about effort. I thought you had great second, third effort tonight. I mean, just across the board, especially after you fell down from behind 14-3.
Well, this team has been very resilient, and I think we've gone through a lot of growing pains around here in past experiences, and there's no quit in them. And we're really pleased that they didn't panic. There was a resolve to keep moving forward.
Coach, that flea flicker, did you have a say in that call, or can you take me through that decision?
That's Coach Vegan's call all the way.
Coach Vegan.
Brian ran well and set the record, but is he right? Is he kind of been who? Brian? Is he?
I think he was a little. Had a growing pull tonight. He wasn't exactly full speed, but he did everything he could.
And what about your defense, Greg? They gave up some big plays, but they also hung in there and then got some stops and got the pressures. What did you think of them tonight?
Well, I was really pleased with them. That quarterback, that freshman quarterback's a good player. Last year, that offensive line threw us around, and I thought we won the line of scrimmage there, and our defensive guys made a lot of plays.
Coach, there was that sequence where Sean scored, then there was turnover, and then the flea flicker right after. How huge was that, just confidence-wise, for the guys?
Well, that was huge, and I think the timing came into play, and anytime you can score right after a turnover, that really has a big impact on the ball game.
Just how big of a step is this for the program? I mean, to win the rivalry game for the first time, and you mentioned being physical, and I know it's not a finished product, but just how big a step did it take tonight?
This is an important step. If I heard it, I'd be a rich man. If I heard 100 times, hey, you got to get the boot back, coach. And so, big win. We're going to enjoy it for 24 hours and start working on Air Force.
Coach, Josh Allen, when he got off of that touchdown run, he sits on the bench and says, I will not be denied. I want this blank too bad. From your players, from freshmen to seniors, what does this game mean from? What does this win mean from?
Well, that's been a building process. It started all the way back in the winter. And this group's come together. They are determined, and Josh is an intense competitor.
Greg, you saw that crowd out there. You went over. You stood in front of a glorious night for this state.
Yeah, it really is. I think of people in Wyoming, this is an important game. And a lot of history to it. So, I had a chance to stand back and just see how they enjoyed it, and certainly it's gratifying.
Coach, I know it's not the focus now, but Brian getting the record, what's it mean to know that he has that?
Well, I think it's a great accomplishment by Brian and the offensive line, and he certainly is a talented player. Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Can you take us through that pick six, what you saw there?
Well, we were running the stunt, and I came across, I guess the center turned one way, and the ball just landed right in my hand. So when I looked up, there was nothing green in front of me, so I just started running. When I hit the 20-yard line, I looked up at the scoreboard, or the screen. There's no one around, so I became realistic. I haven't scored since I was in 8th grade. So
your defensive performance, shutting him out in the second half, that's a huge step for you.
Yeah, it was great. Especially coming down to the stadium, we all knew it was, how the atmosphere was going to be, and we showed up and we did our jobs. I think it's a great step for this program, and Coach Bohl.
And what does it mean to Jace to taste this victory for, I know you redshirted when you won last, and that's cool, but that's not the same to be a big part of it like this. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, when you're actually playing out there and you're contributing to it, it's a little different. But I'm glad all these freshmen got experience it too. I was a freshman too at one point. That was 5 years ago, but it's just great to come down here and get a win.
After the pick six, I saw that you were kind of drawing a little bit back at the fans, giving them a little point to the scoreboard.
Yeah. The guy behind me was telling me I was balding. So I had to turn around. And I said, I know. And that was about it.
So when the emotions run that high in a game like this, how much does that juice you up when all of a sudden you kind of find yourself almost feeding off the opposing crowd?
It's great, but you got to keep your composure, and I think that's one of the things we harped on this week is these guys, this crowd. It's a great school, not better than Wyoming though, but we knew what we were coming into, and that was one of the things we needed to focus on, and I think we did well.
Where's that moment rank for you? That touchdown?
Greatest of all time. Greatest of all time.
A couple of earlier in the game, just get the wind knocked out
Yeah,
here.
you know what? So I planted wrong, and just a little bit of scar tissue.
Just scared you more.
Yeah, it just scared me more than anything, and we were, more than anything, it was just scary. So came off. I guess next year I got a pick six, so I guess I'm doing all right.
To say too about this defense, you scored, but we saw your defense score last week, but you were able to make enough plays. They hit some plays on you, but you were able to make enough. What does it say about the defense in general?
I think it says a lot. I think it says a lot. That's, 3-4 touchdowns in 2 weeks. So, we're listening to what Coach Sanders says. He knows his defenses. We're just taking notes every day. Continue going. We got a big game next week too. So
that increased pressure on the quarterback second half, where did that come from?
You know what? I think we just wanted. I can't speak for everyone, but I wanted to go grab that boot, so I wasn't going to let anything stop me. Getting pressure was what we needed to do. That's what we needed to do. I think Dalton Fields got in there for one play and got a sack, so everyone was feeling good about it.
What birthday is this for you?
This is my 23rd. I was born October 1st, '93.
No wonder you're bald and you're getting.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm getting old. I had a kid ask me today. I had a kid ask me today when I was walking in. He said, "It's your birthday." I said, "Yeah." He said, "How old are you?" He said, "What are you, 28?" I said, "No, 23." So that was pretty cool. But it's been a great day. I'm glad we won.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, guys.
You guys, Chase gets a pick six, and you guys really just shut them down in the second half. What was that? They were able to hit some plays on you at times, but what was the difference from the first to second half in your mind?
No, we played physical. That was it. We were out there smoking guys, and everyone was doing their job. And obviously, you guys could see it too. We won the line of scrimmage all game, and that's what it comes down to: battling in the trenches. And then when those guys down there are blowing guys off the ball, it's so much easier for us in the back end to make plays. So we play. That's the culture we're implementing. I know Eastern Michigan didn't look good, but to bounce back after Eastern Michigan and come back and get this boot and play Cowboy tough football, we're on the rise, so it feels good.
What was the feeling on the sideline when you guys were down 14-3?
We were down 14-3, I believe, to Northern Illinois. Is just don't panic, because we have game changers on defense that can flip the field, flip the momentum of the game at any moment. And we had I can't remember, we had a touchdown or something, got a stop, and then Chase had the picks, Marcus had the strip, and then so it's plays like that kept us in the game, and we just stayed level-headed, and obviously it prevailed in the end.
How would you critique Chase's pick six right there?
You should probably celebrate a little more. He was saying he looked at the screen about the 20-yard line, and he was like, "Oh my God, I'm actually going to score." So, it's his birthday, so I can't critique him too much. I'll talk to me tomorrow, but I'm so happy for him, especially on his birthday, senior, and to get the boot back and score a touchdown. It's freaking awesome. So.
You said last year you got to feel what this game is about, how much you wanted to win it, and then to take the boot over to the Wyoming fans and do that. I saw you kiss the boot. What does it mean now to be able to be a part of that?
It's awesome. Last year when we played CSU, we were like 1-5, 1-6, and the game was at the end of the season. There was a different feel to this one. We came in, both teams 2-2, start of the season, first conference game. It was a big time game. Not just because of the rivalry, but because first conference game and stuff like that. So to come out, get the boot, and do all that, compared to last year, it's light years better. And to see that Wyoming crowd over there and carrying that boot, I'll remember that for the rest of my life. That was freaking awesome. So.
And your two defensive touchdowns last night, last week, one this week. I know you guys talked about forcing more turnovers this year, but what's allowing that to pay off?
Yeah, like I said, being physical first off, and then us just being older, there's really nothing else you can put it to. Just coaches coach us. We do turnover circuit every day, and just going out there and reading our keys and stuff like that helps us to be in the right spot at the right time, and we were, and it felt really good.
You want to be physical. How big of a step was it for this program for this game? I mean, I know you're not a finished product, but to win this on the road, to get this back, how big of a step for this program is this?
Huge. I mean, like I said, losing to Eastern Michigan last week, and Eastern Michigan's actually a really good team. I mean, people put them down, but to come back after a game like that on the road against a rivalry team, first conference game, and go out and smash them in the mouth, I mean, there's not much more you can say. I mean, we came to play, and that's what we're going to come to play the rest of the season. So.
This is your first road win. I mean, what's it? Is it feel to this for you?
Yeah, I kind of wish we were getting on a plane so I could feel how it was to get on the plane. Everyone all happy and stuff, but I think the bus will do, and it's only about an hour drive back, so it feels good. First road win of my career. So. Thanks everyone.
Gosh, it's 14-3, and you're on the road, and things can snowball sometimes, but it obviously did. So, what was kind of the mindset with you and just on the bench when it was 14-3? Because it obviously certainly made a rally there.
Yeah, we just as a team, I went to my linemen and really pushed them, and they responded in that next drive. And within 3 plays, it went from being 14-3 to 17-3. A huge play by Mark Sepp coming up with the fumble, and a big play call by our coach, our offensive coordinator, Brent Vegan. And we went out there and we executed it. So, I mean, within 3 plays, it turned the whole game around.
Josh, after you ran in that touchdown, I caught you on the bench and you said, "I will not be denied. I want this blank too much." I mean, how juiced were you when all of a sudden you guys started just firing on all cylinders?
It was nice. And yeah, sometimes language gets away from me a little bit on the field. But, I was just really excited, and 3rd and 11 was a big play. They played 4 down, which was what we wanted. Faked the pitch to Brian and just kind of found a way in. A lot of great blocking, so I give kudos to our line. They did great tonight.
Is that play figure something you worked on for a while, or how familiar were you with that play?
We put it in this week. We've had it in, but we really thought it'd work well against these guys, and we got it to the right formation, and we made it work.
Obviously, Josh, you guys ran the ball well, but there's the flea flicker. You drew in the flat. You tied in a little bit. Just I know you're not the one calling the play, but it seemed like he's very diverse. Play calling tonight, and really were able to keep them off balance.
Definitely, and that helps when you get the run game going. And our offensive line was pushing them around, and we were really doing whatever we wanted to do. Obviously, the passing stats weren't as pretty as we'd like, but at the end of the day, we've got the win.
Did you guys realize during the game that Brian got the record?
I didn't. I actually, second quarter, I was thinking to myself, I know he was maybe 150 something down, right, before the game. I was 75, and yeah, he played his butt off. He won't be denied. He's hard to bring down.
First Border War for you, starting under center for Wyoming. I mean, coming into this game, how did you picture it would go, and was it kind of true form?
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly how I thought it'd be. Really loud, really hostile environment. Just coming out, and the big stat that we had was no turnovers, which we've done in the last couple games. So that was huge for our offense, and just keeping us on the field.
Running the boot over to the fans over on the side. What did that mean to you and all the other guys when you're finally able to do that?
It's been too long. Boots are for Cowboys, and that's what we've been saying to everybody. So, it's just a surreal feeling, and it shows that a lot of hard work it pays off in the end. Thank you.
The most prolific rusher in Wyoming history.
Feels good. It's an accomplishment for me and my O-line. I know they're proud of it. I'm proud of it too. The most important thing is we got the dub today and the boot coming home.
Did you know when you broke it?
I think someone came and told me on the sideline after one of the big runs, but I wasn't really worried about it. The score was too close.
Ground game going again, and you guys really did that. What really happened with the running game to get it going like that?
Preparation. We've been preparing all week. Our O-line's been going hard, working on finishing our blocks, and the scout team, got to give it to them because they've been challenging the O-line all week.
Brian, you ran really hard, but it seemed like when you pull a groin, Coach Bohl said you had a groin pull. Was that something you did in the game, or did you do it in the week, or are you good, or what's going on there?
I hurt my hip flexor against Eastern Michigan. I actually got back to 100% today, so lucky for us that we had the extra day after the Friday game.
So it didn't bother you tonight?
Not really. The wrap kind of bothered me, so I had to take it off in the middle of the game, but I was good.
Can you take us to that touchdown? Looked like you got stonewalled and were able to find another goal.
Yeah, one of the D tackles just shot the gap really well, but he didn't have his hands. He was still holding on to one of the offensive linemen, so I just bounced off, tried to get in the end zone.
Brian, how big of a step? I mean, this is just, you won this game for the first time in a long time. You won to snap the road losing streak. How big the step is it for this team and this program going ahead? You you've been parts of lots of a few good ones and some disappointing ones. How big of a step was it to you?
After coming off a loss to Eastern Michigan where we feel like we gave up the game, it was a big step for us to come out tonight and show that we can move the ball on offense just to give us some confidence. And after the first drive, the O-line was ready, the wide receivers were ready, and I was ready.
Now that you guys got that road win, how long ago does the last one at Fresno State feel like?
It feels like forever ago. That was my first start ever. So I'm happy we finally got one on the road.
What does it feel like to hold that boot? And you played in this game, but obviously been on the short end, but to win it and hold the boot and see the fans and how they react, what's that like?
I got to really feel the rivalry. You know, when you're on the winning end, it feels good to be in a rivalry. So I'm happy that we can get the boot, bring it back home, and it's going to be in the locker room for 365 days.
Ron, you had that bench, behind your bench was all of the CSU students, yelling and heckling you guys all game long. I mean, how did it feel nice when all of a sudden they got quiet and then all of a sudden slowly but surely they started leaving the stands, you guys started winning?
Well, we knew how it was going to be. We came in my freshman year and it was hostile just like tonight. So we were prepared. We were ready to talk back to the fans if necessary, and it worked. And when they started piling out, it just made the game that much easier. No problem.
Congratulations.